Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've got a lot of big updates. I'm gonna be releasing a few videos over the next week and a half. This video, I'm gonna talk about everything we've been working on, where we're at, all the updates, and then I'm gonna start doing demo videos of all the features that I'm gonna mention here. First things first, I think the last time that we did a video, it was releasing V2 and showing you kind of where we're at, sending off a test unit to Joe Legowski. He did do a review of that and posted a video on his channel. And we did some live sessions on his YouTube channel as well. So take a look at those. There's a lot of information there. Um, yeah, I had some pains, but we got through them and learned a lot, and that went into the development of V3, which I'm going to talk about and show you today. On the business side of things, you may notice in the background the YouTube channel looks a little bit different, and it's looked different for quite some time. We just didn't do an update and really like formally let everybody know. But we are incorporated. We are a business. Our name is Spectrum Golf Technologies. We're incorporated in Canada, and I'm really happy to say that the unit also has a name, so it will be Element. In addition to that, we now have a website, so I'm going to show that real quick. This is Spectrum Golf Technology, or sorry, spectrumgolftech.com. So check that out. Um, you can submit your email here, and once we do actually start releasing like a newsletter update, you'll get those. Also, that email list is probably where we're gonna hunt down testers, and we're very close to sending out multiple units for testing of V3. So check that out. Put your email in here. There's a contact link if you want to contact Mike and myself. We'll both receive that email and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. There's a link to the YouTube channel. There's some information and some kind of cool graphics of, it doesn't look exactly like this right now, but this is kind of what we're going for. There's a nice frequently asked questions page or section here. And there's also a link to our Discord that we fired up. So there's only about 50-55 people in that right now, but if you're interested in updates and chatting, and we are like gonna try we are kind of releasing a lot more regular updates on that, so it's a really great place for you to get information. I think that's the big business updates in terms of development and getting this to market. We have sent one unit out for testing. I'll talk about that a little bit more shortly. But basically, what's happening now is we're looking to do a larger test campaign, and I am putting a huge amount of time right now into getting this unit certified for legal sale in US and Canada first, but the step to EU and Australia, I think, will be our two other markets that we really want to be able to send units to. This will help us get towards that, but it is a legal requirement for us to have in the United States FCC certification. In Canada, that's ISED, and we need the stamp on the label with certain information for an electrical product. And we're going to do all of the tests that you would normally do for like a CE stamp product. We're not currently interested in going all the way to getting the stamp, but for peace of mind, insurance purposes, and making sure that we're building and selling a safe product, we're going to do all that testing so that at least we have the paperwork saying we did it, that it passed, that it's safe, and for our own peace of mind, we have that documentation to make sure that you're receiving something that you can trust. Um, okay, so I've covered our company, the name of the unit. We've got Discord and a website, so that's all great stuff. Development of V3 and testing. So I'm going to show you my test unit. It's not fully assembled. It doesn't have the front and back cover, top covers on it currently, um, just for ease of access. But I want to talk about some of the ports and features on the back. So we have two USB-A 3.0, two USB-C, Ethernet, a proper barrel jack connector for power, and an on-off toggle switch. So the USB-A, although they could be used for charging a device, that's not why we put them there. What they're actually supposed to be for in the future is cameras, USB 3 um, machine vision cameras that you can use as swing cameras, or even maybe potentially a cool impact camera. As long as, in the UI, as long as we can give you the option to choose what you're wanting to use them for, I think we could have some really cool features there. The USB-C one will be a dedicated charging port, since this unit can be used, set up, controlled via phones, tablets, Apple phones and Android phones, PCs, and Apple computers. So if you have a mobile device that you're using with the unit, you can plug it in and it'll charge it while you're using it, since I imagine you would have that on, full time to control the unit, see your data, and etc. The other USB-C is going to be for a cool peripheral. I mentioned it in my last video. Haven't worked on that. It's kind of a far out there one, but if we decide to do that, we have the port for it. We also have Ethernet on there in the event that your Wi-Fi is a little bit unstable or just weak in the area that you're using it. You can plug it in and it works great. And then, yeah, the single power port and the on-off switch. In addition to that, our new PCB not only simplifies a lot of things, but we're kind of trying to future-proof ourselves a bit. So there's currently, I hope I'm not missing anything, I think 3 sets of hookups inside that will allow us to kind of future-proof or add some features. One is the use of a speaker. So there could be an audible chime when the unit's ready to receive a shot. The second is a hookup for a simple LCD screen, so that the unit, you can see all your information right on the unit. You don't even have to use another device or a UI. I don't think that will be on the base model. I think we'll probably, if we do that, we'll do another model that, is a little bit more money that has that screen. For me personally, I don't want it, but some people might. And then the third one is hookups for an addressable LED strip, which we really want to do, and I think that will be on the base model, so that we can have indicator lights on the unit as a way to know the status of the unit. So kind of like standby. It's not looking for a ball. It's looking for a ball, but it's not detected. Looking for a ball, detected in the hitting area, and then armed, ready to receive a shot. So that's all stuff that we've kind of tried to think ahead and make sure we have the ability to do that. Another nice thing about the new hardware, single PCB, the single board computer is integrated on that PCB now. Processing times are much faster with the upgrade of that single board computer, and our control of the unit overall, our timings and everything are just that much better. So that's really cool. In terms of feature updates, so I can't remember in V2, I think we were officially using Pixballs at that time. We're still using Pixballs, but our next step here as we get test units out and get a bunch more data will be to try to move past that to just dimples. So that's a big one, not set in stone or 100% confident that will work, but that's our goal. In addition to that, I think one of the biggest features is we now have not an adjustable, but a dynamic hitting area. So this ties into another feature, club data. If you want club data, it's now working quite well. It uses a single marker on the face, center but high on the face, and it will get you club speed, path, angle of attack, horizontal impact location, so distance off center, and of course, because we have club speed and ball speed, smash factor. So if you want club data, the hitting area is going to be a little bit reduced. Shouldn't say reduced, it'll be the size that you've seen it already, because we were planning on doing club data. But if you don't want to use club data, you can turn it off and the hitting area gets quite a bit bigger, like quite a bit longer on your target line. So that's a really cool feature. Um, let's see here. What other features can we talk about? Honestly, I think that's it in terms of major. Oh, sorry, no. In the UI, when I show it, have also now implemented a basic flight model. It's not perfect, and to all of you out there that would like to help us out, if you have a unit that well, it doesn't even need club data. But if it's a reliable unit and you're hitting balls in GS Pro or on another software that has flight model, it'd be really beneficial to us so that we can expand like the database to try and refine the model and get it similar to other units out there. So if you're hitting shots on the driving range in GS Pro or whatever, send us your data. We would need the launch conditions, so that's ball speed, vertical and horizontal launch angle, spin and spin axis, ideally at sea level or definitely at sea level with no wind. Now, if you can give us that and then give us the flight, what information the flight model spits out, that'd be great. The more data we can get, the more we can make this close to what you're used to. So it has that. The UI has been upgraded dramatically. I'll show you a quick snippet. This is just what it looks like here. So we've got all the data. We've got the flight model and the path. So we on the top here we have looking from the ball from above the path. So you're seeing the trajectory from the top and from the side. And Mike actually did a really kind of just basic bounce and roll. We haven't spent much time or looked into that very well, but like it's something. So yeah, you have kind of all the bones here. Also, the history page has been upgraded. Of course, I have the unit unplugged, so you can't see it now. Anyhow, yeah, this is what the new UI looks like, and I will do a way deeper dive shortly in one of my follow-up videos. The other things that we need to talk about quickly is testing. So we are looking for testers. I have about 5 people kind of in my mind that I really want to send one to. I have sent one to Joe Legowski, and he's been working with us for about a week now, working through some really minor issues. A couple of those issues are actually just a result of, the expanded hitting area. We forgot something that kind of broke the unit briefly, but fixed that. Um, and it's been working really nicely for him. And we've made, like I said, a couple minor fixes. Unfortunately, we believe that the unit, something came loose during shipment from Canada to Australia, and I'm quite confident that the calibration is out of whack. So the reason for that is he's seeing ball speeds that are low, that don't match. He's been comparing them to his Pro T as well as a PRGR radar unit. And we're seeing low ball speeds. So we're going to try to fix that with him, get him a calibration board, confirm that that's an issue, and try to redo the calibrations once we can get him to open up the unit and confirm that everything's tightened back down. So really unfortunate, but that is kind of part of the testing. It's not just about the software or our PCB or the hardware that we had designed. It's about assembly, it's about calibration, it's about issues in shipping. So we learned one the hard way, unfortunately, here, but I've made a bunch of design updates to the pieces to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So a hard one to swallow for sure. It's costly and time consuming to send all the way to Australia, but we've still been able to get a lot of valuable information and yeah, learned a hard lesson, unfortunately. Uh, what kind of updates are we going to be working on? Well, I think I mentioned one already is I really want to give Dimple Spin a really good try now that we have our improved hardware. I want to expand club data using multiple markers to get you all of those face metrics that are really cool, like face to path and dynamic loft and spin loft and all that really cool stuff. And then probably I think Mike really wants to work on advancing an API so that we can give all of you the information, ball position information, club position information, all of the output metrics to yeah, build some cool analysis interfaces, dashboards, games, whatever. And on that topic, this is not an official thing, but we're kind of working with someone who is trying to make their own, you know, 3D sim software, just like GS Pro and all, E6 and the others out there. So yeah, we're kind of like in talks. We're kind of trying to help him out a little bit and give him some advice on the flight model stuff and how to handle spin and ground interaction. And he's trying to build a full-fledged, basically new sim suite that we would really love to have some sort of partnership in and use with our unit. So that's really cool. So that was kind of our big missing thing with this unit, was we were relying on other software. Well, perhaps we could have maybe a scaled down or light version of that software that comes with the unit in the future. So that would be really cool and really puts us in a place where we're not lacking any features. Um, yeah, so I think that's where I'm going to call it for now. I'm going to follow this up with probably 2, 3, 4 videos, and I want to talk about the UI. I want to show you short game and putting. I want to just hit some shots and play around and show the unit working quickly, show the expanded hitting area when you're not using club data, and then of course show club data. And I'll probably throw some tape on the face and hit a shot and measure the impact position and show it to you, and prove that, like, yeah, it's working really quite well. I think we're within about 2 or 3 millimeters at the moment, and maybe we can improve that. But yeah, we're gonna do some demo videos here. If we can fix Joe's unit, hopefully he can put out a video soon showing him using it and his results and his opinion. So yeah, lots of updates coming soon. And if you made it this far, this is maybe optimistic, but I want this unit. I want test units out in the next 4 weeks, a handful, 5 to 10 units. So definitely go to the website, put your email in there, and send us an email that you're interested, and that would be fantastic. And I want to sell a unit so bad, and I want to do that this fall. So we're coming to the end of summer here in Canada. So that gives us about 3 months to get through certification and get a finished enough unit. I think we'll probably have, like, a early bird price for a 3D printed case. Maybe it'll always be 3D printed, but yeah, I want to sell a unit. This fall, worst case by the end of the year. So that's the goal. Um, Hopefully you're excited for these updates, and I will do my absolute best to get these out as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your patience and all your support. Really, really cannot say thank you enough, and I'm looking forward to showing you more and have some testers do some videos and finally sell a unit. So we're so close. So thanks again, everybody, and we'll be chatting very, very shortly. Have a great one.